There's no more room in hell.
What?
Something my granddaddy used to tell us. You know 𝘾𝙝𝙖? Voodoo. Granddad was a priest in Trinidad. He used to tell us, when there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth.
This line alone from the movie Dawn of the Dead from George Romero is what inspired the developer Max 𝘾𝙗𝙗 to create the game No More Room in Hell, a cooperative zombie shooter that delves into the realm of survival horror, pitting players against hordes of zombies in a desperate bid to escape. The game offers a unique blend of slow-paced action, strategic gameplay, and atmospheric tension, immersing players in a world of unrelenting terror. But what makes it stick out compared to all the other zombie games out there on the market? Its gameplay, dedication to realism, the community, and even its soundtrack? Let's grab a shotgun, some bandages, and make our way through the hordes of undead and find out. No More Room in Hell's gameplay is characterized by its intense action and slow-paced combat. Spawning in, players are thrown into maps with limited resources at their disposal. Players must scavenge for supplies, complete objectives, and fend off hordes of zombies to progress and hopefully escape. Or die trying. Players progress through Left 4 Dead style campaigns, except the map isn't broken up into chapters, as well as there being no safe rooms. It's just one really long map. The maps are also semi-dynamic, meaning some paths might be blocked off in future playthroughs, as well as doing different objectives to progress. This is done to ensure the game remains relatively fresh. While you'll eventually play all the variations of one map, it's better than playing the same map again and again with the same paths and goals. Through the maps, you'll be dealing with swarms of the undead. Even though they move very slowly with the occasional runner, they are very dangerous, even a lone zombie. This is where the game's combat comes into play. Simple yet effective with a focus on melee attacks, shooting, teamwork, and careful resource management. First, melee combat. It's both brutal and punishing. Players can use a variety of melee weapons to take down the undead. Each weapon has its own unique stats. For example, some weapons are slower but hit harder, but require a lot of stamina for each swing. And if you're not careful with your swings, you won't have any stamina and you won't be able to attack at all. While other melees swing faster and use less energy, they won't hit as hard. All of this is done to emphasize strategy and timing over mindless button mashing. This sense of deliberateness makes it so you don't go in swinging like a madman, as well as making you carefully position yourself for a clean hit on a zombie. It reminds me of Dead Island's melee combat, with a focus on conveying the weight and impact of each attack. When players land a successful hit, the animation conveys a sense of power and satisfaction, making them feel like they are truly connecting with their targets. Next up is shooting. Unlike traditional shooters that often reward players for haphazardly spraying bullets, missing shots can endanger and outright kill your teammates. Guns also take moderate time to reload. This isn't Call of Duty where you do this flashy reload within 2 to 3 seconds and you're ready to shoot again. So you want to make every shot count so you ain't caught with your pants down and not being able to defend yourself. Like melee weapons, there's a diversity of guns that you can find and use. Each gun will exceed in their designated roles while suffering in others. For example, a pistol is great for taking out targets one by one at medium range, as well as conserving ammo, but it's basically useless if a group of Zeds are right up in your face. While a shotgun would excel at this, allowing you to blast multiple zombies away, at the cost of range and not being as accurate. It's all about trade-offs. Guns overall feel deliberate and powerful, with a tangible sense of recoil for each weapon. Teamwork is the name of the game in No More Room in Hell. Unlike other zombie survival games that focus on being single player, No More Room in Hell is designed specifically for multiplayer only. Players can team up with the 8 people in one lobby to take down hordes of zombies. The game's design encourages players to communicate, coordinate, and strategize with each other, making teamwork an essential component. For instance, players need to work together to scavenge for supplies, complete objectives to progress, or distract zombies to allow teammates to escape. When players work together, they can divide tasks and focus on specific roles, such as providing cover fire, medical support, or being a pack mule. This division of labor allows players to conserve resources, reduce stress, and increase efficiency, ultimately leading to better outcomes. Furthermore, teamwork allows players to learn from each other's strengths and weaknesses, adapting their strategies to compensate for individual limitations. This approach creates a sense of camaraderie as players work together to survive.
Okay.
Teamwork is just a crucial component of success in No More Room in Hell. The game's cooperative gameplay dynamic, design elements, and challenges all promote effective teamwork, trust, and communication among players. By working together, players can overcome obstacles, ultimately increasing their chances of survival and escaping. You have to work together to make it in No More Room in Hell. It's like wolves. A lone wolf might not survive long on their own, but a pack of wolves will have a higher chance of surviving and enduring whatever challenges awaits them. Lastly, resource management. Resources are limited, and players must scavenge for supplies such as ammunition and medical items. This scarcity creates a sense of urgency and forces players to make tough decisions about how they'll use their resources. For example, should they use their last few rounds of ammunition to take out a group of zombies?
4 shots left.
Or should they conserve them for a potential future encounter? This decision-making process adds yet another layer of strategy to the gameplay and makes players carefully think about their actions, which adds to the game's overall sense of tension. Players are constantly on edge, knowing they may not have enough resources to survive the next encounter, forcing players to be cautious and methodical in their approach, avoiding unnecessary risk and conserving their supplies for critical moments. Altogether, the scarcity of resources means that players must be prepared to adapt to unexpected situations, such as a sudden zombie horde or a critical loss of supplies. This adaptability is essential to survival, as players must think on their feet and respond quickly to changing circumstances. With all these gameplay elements combined together, it's no wonder why No More Room in Hell is fun to play. With its focus on slow-paced combat and semi-dynamic maps, keeping the game fresh as you play while dealing with hordes of undead as you try to escape by doing objectives to progress. Engaging in slow but methodical combat, though simple, leads to an engaging gameplay loop in dealing with zombies by using a variety of melee weapons and guns. From crushing zombie skulls with sledgehammers, to taking down hordes with assault rifles, and using teamwork to effectively deal with the undead, all while trying to manage your scarce resources, from ammo to medical items. All these elements merge together to create fun and unique gameplay that stands toe-to-toe with all the other zombie games out there on the market. Another key feature of the game is its dedication to realism. In this world, you're not a god. You're just a normal human being living their day-to-day life when suddenly a zombie apocalypse hits. One good hit and you'll go down, along with getting bitten and eventually turning into a zombie. Featuring a unique gameplay mechanic known as permadeath. When a player dies, they are permanently removed from the game. Players must start over from the beginning to get their players back, incentivizing you to avoid death at all costs. There's also little to no HUD. The only HUD that you have is your inventory, voice callouts for your survivors, and your ammo. By the way, you have to check your ammo manually by holding your reload key, performing a short animation of you checking the amount of remaining ammo in your gun. All of this is done to get you immersed into the world and keep your screen UI free so you can focus on the action. Next thing is the maps you play on feature little to no supplies for you to scavenge. Since it's a zombie apocalypse, most of the supplies you would need has already been taken, leaving few scraps for you to pick up as you try to escape. This scarcity of resources forces players to adopt a more cautious and strategic approach, making the game feel more realistic and challenging. You also have limited carrying capacity for items. Want to take this shotgun? You'll have to lose the pickaxe you're carrying and hope you'll find ammo along the way. But then you run the risk of running out of ammo and having no means of defending yourself. Or you could drop the shotgun and keep the pickaxe, which is a one-hit kill on zombies, and have room for smaller items like pistols, medkits, or any other supplies you find. No More Room in Hell also features in-game voice chat. It's not like your typical voice chat where you speak and everyone can hear you from anywhere on the map. You have to be close to other survivors for them to hear you. You can find radios to mitigate this and talk to other survivors as long as they have one in their inventory. The levels you play are also richly detailed and authentic to a zombie apocalypse. It's clear a lot of hard work was poured into designs of the maps to make them fun to play, while still trying to be realistic. depicting how a zombie apocalypse might look if one was to hit so suddenly. Seeing the streets jammed with cars bumper to bumper, homes quickly boarded up to try to keep the zombies out, and bodies littered around of those who failed to escape the grasp of the undead. With all these elements carefully mixed together, No More Room in Hell shows how to do realism the right way without it negatively affecting the user's experience. The soundtrack was composed by two artists, 𝘾𝙗𝙖𝙥𝙩𝙚𝙧𝙨 and Brian Sherman. Their music is a masterclass in building tension and suspense. From the onset, the score is ominous, with haunting melodies and discordant notes that create a sense of unease. The use of minor keys and slow tempos create a sense of foreboding atmosphere, hinting at the horrors that lie ahead. This is particularly evident in the game's main menu, where the player is introduced to the desolate world through a haunting guitar melody that sets the tone for what you're about to endure. No More Room in Hell soundtrack is just a masterful composition, perfectly complements the game's atmosphere and gameplay. The OST creates a sense of tension, suspense, and horror that draws the player into the game's world. The score's complexity and depth are evident in its intricate instrumentation and clever use of sound design. The soundtrack's ability to evoke emotions and create a sense of dread and hopelessness is a testament to the composer's abilities at producing music. The soundtrack has also been praised by fans and critics alike, with many considering it an integral part of the game's overall experience. Because without it, you'd just be playing any other zombie game. But with the soundtrack, it gives it a unique identity of its own and makes it stand out from all the other zombie games out there on the market. Also, let me just quickly mention the game's sound effects for its weapons and general ambience. Whoever did the sound design for the melee weapons and guns has done an absolutely fantastic job. When you use these weapons, from the high-pitched cracks of a pistol to the deep rumbling boom of a shotgun and bone-crushing whacks of melee weapons, you are met with a loud, visceral sound that is just pleasing to the ears. There's just a very nice oomph to the weapons. Each sound for each weapon just fits like a glove. Just the general ambience of the game is amazing. From the zombie horde, to car alarms going off, to the crackle of gunfire ringing out from far away. All of it is a vital component of the game's overall experience that makes you feel like you're actually in a zombie apocalypse. One of the last important pillars of No More Room in Hell is its community. Since the game is a niche in the broader scope of zombie games out there on the market, with just enough players playing to find games, you will constantly be running into players you have played with before, giving a sense of community compared to something like DayZ, where there's at least 35,000 to 50,000 players playing at one time, which inherently is not a bad thing, but your chances of running into someone you met again are near zero. With roughly only 400 to 700 players active in No More Room in Hell, you're bound to run into someone you've played with previously. Let's also not forget that No More Room in Hell has mod support through the Steam Workshop. The Steam Workshop has enabled the game's community to create and share custom content, adding replayability to the game, providing a constant stream of new content for players to enjoy. With the Workshop, users can create and share custom maps, models, and sounds, and other modifications to enhance the game, which can easily be downloaded and played by others. This has greatly extended the game's lifespan, as players are no longer limited to the original content created by the developers, keeping the game fresh and exciting even after playing hundreds of hours. No More Room in Hell is a game that has managed to carve a niche for itself in the oversaturated market of zombie video games. While it's not perfect, the gameplay can be slow, fighting zombies can be janky as hell, and it can be clunky to play. But its dedication to realism, its unique gameplay, its community, and the Steam Workshop, as well as its soundtrack, carry it through and make it a success. It stands out as a diamond in the rough that more people really should play. It's free. You should really try it out. If you don't like it, you lose nothing but a little bit of your time. As the gaming landscape continues to evolve, No More Room in Hell stands as a testament to having a clear vision of what it sets out to accomplish, as well as being a love letter to George Romero's Dawn of the Dead. When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth.